Welcome to Spacecraft Guide, the channel that goes over the most iconic spacecraft in the world. In this issue of Spacecraft Guide, we're going to continue our work on the Apollo spacecraft. And if you go to the SIVR Museum Patreon and get to this page, you will click on this link right here. When you click on that link, we are going to go into the lunar module and work on a component that will control this antenna up here. And there's two of them. There's one up here. This is a VHF antenna, and then there's one on the other side back here. And that component we are going to work on is on the communication panel again, panel 12, and it is the VHF Selector Switch. And when you click on it, it takes you to the VHF Selector Switch page. And you can see this switch right here has pull to turn on it. And that is because this selects the antenna to be used. To change the switch setting, switch first must be pulled out. That's why they have that big message right next to the switch. Now, in the aft position, it selects the VHF in-flight antenna number 1 switch, which is spring-loaded and has a lock mechanism. So this is the main antenna that they're going to use for VHF communication. Now, the forward selects the VHF in-flight antenna number 2, or the forward antenna. And then EVA, which is right here, is extravehicular activity, which is spacewalks. And that's used for VHF communication between the EVA, extravehicular activity, and lunar module, LM, during the lunar stay. So EVA, the person who is walking around the surface of the moon. So what that switch is going to do, if we look into the schematics here, this is a switch right here, and it controls this switch. Now, either it's going to do the forward in-flight antenna, the aft in-flight antenna, which is what it's spring-loaded to, or the EVA antenna, which is for the spacewalk. Now that connects it to the diplexer, basically takes the signal, the transmit and receive, and mixes it together. So we see here we have the VHF receiver A, and that's going through this way. And then we go over here, and we see we have the VHF transistor B, or Bravo. So that's transmitting information and receiving information. Of course, we have two radios up here, two receivers up here, two transmitters down here. Now that's all these receivers and transmitters go into the duplexer, and that is going to go to the antenna where they're going to receive information and send out information. So that is all from this switch right here. That's all for this week. If you would like to use this interactive virtual reality exhibit on the command module, the lunar module, and the surface of the moon, just go to our Patreon page, and the link will be down below.